Hi everyone, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you're new, my name is Byron. I am a vegan and I am currently gaining weight by not following the Slimming World plan. Oh, what's happening? Well, I'm going to tell you. Context. If you haven't already seen the video I put up yesterday evening, last night, go and watch that one. It's not a long video, and that will fill you in on the week that I've had and the expectation of a gain that I had going into group this morning. Just to bring you up to speed with those numbers, 2 weeks ago I gained £2, which took my standing weight from 14 stone to 14 stone 2 pounds. Had to think then, maths. Last week I lost half a pound of that. So this time last week my weigh-in result was 14 stone 1.5 pounds. And without beating around the bush, today I gained £4, which brings my current weight up to 14 stone 5.5 pounds. I knew that was going to happen. I mean, like I said in yesterday's video, I have made lots of choices over the last week or so, which have all contributed to that gain. I was expecting somewhere in that region, actually. I think I was pretty spot on. I don't weigh myself at home. I don't have scales here anymore. I do not want to go back into that habit of constantly weighing myself. So I was just estimating, but I felt like, I think I even said this in yesterday's video, that I felt like I had gained around about £4 to £6, I think I said. So yeah, £4 was today's result. Now, I'm okay with it. I knew that it was coming. In many ways, I feel like I'm quite thankful that it was, well, not only £4. I mean, that's a considerable amount of weight to gain, but I think it could have been £6 or £8 or more. And I'm really proud of myself for the actions of damage limitation that I put into place last week. So I don't think I mentioned this yesterday in my pre-weigh day thoughts video, but I exercised or body magicked or swalped, Slimming World Active Lifestyle programmed for every single day last week. I did 7 days of considerable exercise, actually. There was only one day that could be classed as a fail, but I'm actually classing it as a complete win. And that was my first run of the week. So I did a spontaneous gym trip to use the treadmill there. Love the treadmills at the gym. Oh my goodness me. The walking pad that I was able to borrow, jogging pad that I was able to borrow, was fantastic, and it got me up to a certain level on the Couch to 5K program that I'm doing, which was invaluable, and I'm so grateful that I was able to borrow the walking pad. But as I was increasing in terms of the stamina, the length of the runs that I was doing, the speed at which I was doing them, I could tell that the poor like motor belt thingy, I've no idea, I'm not an engineer or a straight man, like the thing that makes the stuff move on the thing. I don't know. I think it's called a motor belt or a belt motor, or an engine, no idea. But I could tell that it was getting a pounding from big old me jumping up and down on it, and I was actually beginning to think that I was going to go through the floor into the restaurant below, which no one wants to see because I run topless, because I sweat a lot, moobs all over the place. And I was starting to get a bit anxious that I was going to like interrupt someone's wedding anniversary just by me with my moves out, landing square in their beef bourguignon. So I have transitioned to running at the gym. Now, obviously, the treadmills at the gym are professional treadmills, so it's lovely using them. The speeds actually make sense, and I'm going to talk about those in a moment. I've got them written down. There's like bounciness on them, impact support. What's the word that I'm thinking of? I do know the word for this one. Suspension, maybe. They have better suspension, better shock absorption. So I feel like I'm sort of springing along quite nicely when I run on those machines. And most importantly for me, because I've got long legs, they have a much wider and longer platform running area for me to use, so I don't feel like I'm going to go flying off it at any given moment. So run one of the week was a spontaneous run, and I had planned to do a repeat of Couch to 5k week 5 run 3, which for anyone who's not familiar is 5 minutes of brisk walking, 20 minutes of running, 5 minutes of brisk walking, and I got as far as 6 minutes into it and had a breakdown mentally and just had to get off and out of the gym. That was down to my lack of preparation. I didn't have with me my water bottle, I didn't have with me any headphones. I was finding it really overwhelming, just having like my ADHD thoughts going on. I didn't realise how much I require to have just like white noise or brown noise or some kind of music playing just to help switch my brain off a little bit. Because like even 3 minutes in, all I could think of was how long have I been running for? How long have I got left? I had no other distractions apart from the actual duration, and it just defeated me mentally. Physically, I think I could easily have gone on and done, another 10-15 minutes that day. But a huge part of running or any exercise is our mindset, really, isn't it, going into it? So rather than seeing that as a fail, I saw it as a learning opportunity to make sure that I am always prepared, even for my spontaneous gym visits. And I'm so happy to show you, this is normally downstairs now by my front door, but look at my gorgeous leopard print gym bag. Isn't she adorable? Don't I look fabulous? Mincing around with this, of course, which has all of my essential belongings in there. So I've even got some spare headphones, spare trainers, spare t-shirt, my water bottle I will be filling up and putting back in there, and I've got a gym towel in there as well, which means that whenever I want to go to the gym, I don't need to think about the executive function of, do I have everything that I need? All I need to do is pick up this bag and walk down to the gym. And then I have done that since my not disastrous, but since my failed run at the beginning of the week. So I've run 3 times since then, and I have continued on the repeats of the walk for 5, run for 20, walk for 5, just to build up my stamina, just to build up my speed a little bit. And on yesterday's run, was it yesterday? Lost track of time. yesterday, yes, it was yesterday. On yesterday's run, I did the entire 20 minutes at my own PB, which is a speed of 8.5 kilometers an hour. Now, and my brisk walk I do at 6.5 kilometers an hour. When I started, and in week 1, you run for 90 seconds, I think, and then walk for 90 seconds, run for 90 seconds, walk for 90 seconds, and so on. And back then, my running speed was 4.5 to 5 kilometers an hour. And now my brisk walking speed is more than that. So I'm so happy that, for me, it's progress. Other people will be watching and thinking, crikey, I walk quicker than your running speed. But, you know, we're doing this for ourselves, aren't we? And that's, for me, a huge win. So the fact now that I know that I can run on a treadmill for 20 minutes straight, well, not straight, because I look like a daffodil when I run. Honestly, I'm like, rah! It's a sight to behold. But I can run, not straight, I can run continuously for 20 minutes at 8.5 kilometers an hour. Which means I can push that up and hopefully get to 9, and then maybe 9.5 in a few weeks, who knows. So that's been a huge win for me. I also had my personal training type session. I have mentioned before, but with my gym membership, I bought an add-on, which is like a starter program, which is a 12-week program with 4 weekly check-ins. And I actually had that first session to discuss my aims. You know, obviously want to look completely macho, think like David Hasselhoff, 1988. That's the vibe that I'm going for. I'm joking. Absolutely joking. But we discussed what my aims are in terms of my fitness levels and my body goals and my diet, and how I can utilize the gym around my own schedule, to hopefully, you know, make some inroads towards those goals. Our gym, or my gym, it's so weird saying that, my gym, the gym that I go to, the trainers there are all something called High Rocks personal trainers, which is all based around functional fitness, functional, you know, weightlifting and those kind of things, functional training. So I've got a few things to be working on over the next few weeks, but my main goal at the moment is to build my stamina through running, and sort of my cardio stamina, and to increase the weights that I'm currently lifting a bit as well. So watch this space and I will update you on those. I have, treated myself kindly over this fortnight, really, and that's a huge win for me, major victory. I have just taken time to nourish myself mentally and spiritually, and physically, to really kind of holistically support my own well-being. So I'm proud of myself for doing that and for making time to do that. Whatever food gremlins were in my brain last week, I seem to have got that out of my system now. I'm feeling very focused. I feel like I've got a lot of clarity for the week going forward in the choices that I'm going to be making. I've gone back to I am such an idiot. I'm literally looking for my phone, which I'm filming on. My brain's not wonderful at the moment. Yeah, I was going to show you on my phone that I've been logging everything on the app. So I've gone, rather than writing things down, because again, ADHD, I have lists everywhere, notepads everywhere, different notepads for different things, and ultimately things get lost in that process. So I've just gone back to using the planner on the Slimming World app to log and track everything that I've been eating, and I mean everything that has passed my lips I am including. And I was surprised actually to realise that you see where sins slip in, you know. So all I've had today to eat is my breakfast and my lunch. My breakfast was my usual overnight oats. My lunch was a delightful broccoli and kale and broad bean soup. And I think I've had 6.5 sins already just from those two meals, which normally I kind of let them slide sometimes. You know, I think I really only focused on the sins that I'm using outside of meals. They're the ones that I usually always remember to count, like, you know, however many vodka and tonics, or I don't know, my mind's gone blank, but let's assume, you know, if I ate a packet of crisps, which I don't, but let's assume I did, I'd sort of count those things, but the ones that I include in my meals I sometimes forget about. So that's been a nice reminder today. It's been a gentle nudge to be more mindful of those things. So I've made enough soup to last me for the next 3 or 4 days. I've got loads of frozen berries in the freezer. I've got plenty of Alpro yogurt, so I can, have a consistent breakfast going forward for the next few days. And I'm just about to make a kind of soya mince cottage pie type meal now. And that's going to be my evening meal for the next 2 or 3 days. And then I'll probably skip and have something else soya mincy for the second half of the week. I realised last week that my protein count was a lot lower than it normally is. And my refined sugar count was much higher than it normally is, because normally it's on pretty much 0. So I think that contributed to me just being continually hungry, not feeling satisfied, and gaining that extra 4 pounds. Just before I go, I will show you the crochet that I've been doing this week. It was lovely to hear last time I showed my crochet, which really does help to keep my mind distracted and busy and focused. It was lovely to hear in the comments that so many of you also crochet and find it, you know, equally beneficial. I have been crocheting for 25, almost 26 years. Pretty much every single day in that time, and yeah, I find it really, really invaluable. So at the moment I am making a, well, I think it's going to be a blanket. So I started this last week. Whoops. I think it's going to be a blanket, and I think I'm going to give it to my niece, because my nephew, I've crocheted a blanket for him before, which he still has and he still loves. But I haven't made one for my niece yet. So this one is, I don't know if you can see this properly. Is that the right way around? Let me show you. It's just going to be made up of these squares. I haven't blocked it yet, so like, I mean, it's fairly square as it is, but it does need blocking. Isn't that so pretty and delicate? Let me fold it in half. You might be able to see it better rather than, because the lighting's not great here. So you can just see through it. Oh, there you go. You can see it much better that way. Isn't that pretty? It's so textured. So if you can't see it, this is probably a 15 by 15 inch square. it is based on a mandala pattern, and it's got lots and lots of textured stitches in there. There's lots of top stitching and popcorn stitches and front post and back post extended stitches. And I've done it in an ombre cotton. So this one's purple in the centre, going out to a kind of turquoise around the edges. And I'm going to do, I think, 12 squares of that, but it's quite fiddly, as you can probably tell. So it's taken me probably, well, in fact, I'll show you the next one. So it's taken me a week to do that big square, and then the second one that I started, I've got that far with it. So I've kind of done the medallion part of the centre. So it's taken me a week and a half to get that far. And I'm using, if anyone is interested, a Sketches whirl. These are just beautiful. They're so soft. This one is Jumping Jelly. It's quite fiery rainbow colours, of course. And yeah, I think the 215 gram balls. And I'm hoping or expecting to be able to get 3 of the panels, 3 square panels out of each one of these. And as I say, I'm aiming to do about 12 of those, and then I will stitch them together. If anybody would like to follow that pattern, it is a free pattern. You may already be familiar with it. It's by Dietary Ace, and the pattern is called Sophie's Universe. So yeah, oh, there we go. You can, if I hold it up against my t-shirt, so you can actually see the detail work rather than the light going through all the holes, you can see how pretty that is. So yeah, that's been really enjoyable, and I will give you a crochet update this time next week. I think what I'm going to do, rather than rolling my sins over and over and over till the end of the week, and then like having a big binge, you know, later in the week, I am going to allow myself just a maximum of 2 days sins rollover. 2 days, use them or lose them. So that is my plan, or be in a deficit, but like work them out in 2 day blocks, rather than thinking, oh, I can have, you know, 175 over the week or whatever it is. So yes, that's what I will be doing. I'm going to stop talking now, would you believe? Because I really want to go and pour this wine, and that's what I'm going to go and do. So thank you for sticking with me for this very long check-in weigh-in video. I'm going now, bye. Thank you.